Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome back to 30 Day Trials, where I try anything and everything for 30 days. So for the last 30 days, I've been training a little bit differently. I've been training using the method that Markus Ruhl used to use during his day. For those of you that don't know who Markus Ruhl is, he was an IFBB pro bodybuilder that competed many times at the Olympia. He never won, but everybody knew him for his massive size and insane training style. So for the last 30 days, I kind of went through what Markus Ruhl used to do. I read up on him to see, his mindset when he trained, what he was trying to do. This guy was insane, man. This guy was lifting insane amounts of weights. He would do, lateral raises with the amount of weights that I would do for chest presses. That's how strong he was. He was incredible. He had some of the biggest biceps out there as well, and he had just crazy thickness in all his muscles. He wasn't as aesthetic as the guys he was competing against, kind of like Ronnie Coleman, but he was huge and everybody knew him for his size. He was a real mass monster. So for me, I went through his routine to see how he kind of trains, and something really stuck out when I was reading up on him. And one thing I read was that he kind of trained using his instincts. So for me, I thought, all right, I'm in a bit of a plateau. Let me go and try this style out and see. Let's forget the pen and paper. Let's forget about logging the weights, logging the reps, and let's see what happens when I kind of just let my knowledge and experience just take over. I kind of set it up the same way that he did. I went through single days of training one body part per session, and I trained 6 days a week the same way that he did. So leading up to this trial, I had to kind of keep track of any progress that I was making. So the first thing I did was I took body measurements. These were the dimensions that I got. So my arms, flexed and cold, everything that I measured here was cold. So the cold measurements are what you will naturally be like. These are the measurements that you will see more often than not. My arms, flexed, cold, were 17.5 inches. My chest was 41.25 inch. My waist was 34 inches. My thighs were 24 inches. And my calves were 15.25 inches. So, what were the results at the end of this? What did I get out of it? Did I get any growth? Well, these were the results at the end. So, when I took my final measurements after day 30, my arms had grown 1/4 inch. They were 17.75 inches. My chest was 42.5 inches. My waist went down to 33 inches. And my thighs were up 1 inch to 25 inches. And my calves went up 1/4 inch to 15.5 inches. So all in all, you can see that I made some good gains. I mean, I would have liked more size on my arms, but 17.75 inches is not bad, man. I'm getting really close to that 18, and this is cold. So when I'm pumped up, 18 and above easily. 18 inches, easy. But cold, like I said, gotta keep it real. It's the cold measurement that's the most interesting. It's the cold measurement that's the real measurement, because that's how you are 99% of the time. So this is what I really want to bring across, is when you're training by instinct. So there were times when I was in the gym and I was pushing, 10, 15, maybe 20 sets of a particular exercise, just so I could actually feel the muscle engaged, to feel the muscle get pumped up, to actually feel the muscle working. This is what I think is, if you're limited to what you write down on a piece of paper, sometimes you might finish that exercise maybe a couple of sets before you would have really hit that muscle really hard. Now, I'm not trying to say you should do anything dangerous, but at the same time, I'm trying to make you think outside the box for a minute here. So, on the last couple of days, I was mostly thinking about, all right, I know what I can do, but let's try and figure out what I can't do. What I mean by that is, what I was doing in my exercises was, I was adding more weight. And even if I got down to 3 reps, I thought, oh, okay, now I can do 3 reps. What can't I do? So I kept adding more weight. I did 2 reps, kept adding more weight. I did 1 rep, kept adding more weight. And then I failed, like I couldn't get a full complete rep out of it. So that's when I knew, all right, This weight is what I can't do. For me to progress, I need to be able to do that weight. And that kind of thinking got me going through all my different exercises in a safe way, of course. It's very important that you understand I didn't do this on, say, for example, the bench press, where it is free, and if I fail, that's it, man. I'm done. Unless somebody's there to help me. And even then, if you've only got one person helping you and you got a shitload of weight on there, you don't really want to be in that kind of situation. So I would test this out on machines mostly. So where the machine can actually take your failure and just make it a million times more safe than it would be otherwise. Using that method, man, I was cruising through the weights, man. I was literally going through every stack. So that's one of the main things that I took away from this, is that training instinctually and training to failure actually did help me improve my gains. I only started doing this towards the end of the 30 days, so I can only imagine what it would have been like if I had done that from the beginning. But at the beginning, of course, I still had that same mindset that I think a lot of people have, is that I'm gonna train to this many reps and this many sets. And that's good for beginners. And this is why Markus Ruhl was a bodybuilding pro, because he had the knowledge and he had the history of training to be able to say, okay, I know what that's like. I'm gonna push it to the limit now. Let's see how far I can go. I think the pumps were amazing. Chasing that pump, because that was Markus Ruhl's style. Like when he went into the gym, he would adjust his training based on how big of a pump he actually felt. And if he didn't get the pump, he would adjust the weight. Maybe he would drop it down a little bit. And if that didn't work, he'd pick it up a little bit. The main thing I want you to take away from this is that, training by instinct may be something that you could implement into your own training style. Something that could help you if you're really struggling on a plateau and you're really thinking about, what can I do to change up my training to actually give me a different experience, something to look forward to trying over the next 30 days, maybe longer. It's up to you. But this is something that really, I think, comes with knowledge, with age, with experience. But you can only get there if you start somewhere. So you gotta start at some point and say, all right, never done this before, but I'm gonna give it a try now. Do it, give it a break, come back to it. Eventually, you'll master it. You'll get better, you'll feel better, you'll grow better, and you'll understand more. Sans from 30 Day Trials, and I'll catch you on the next one.